What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Gem Mint, and I just got done reading volume 42 of Berserk. That's right, Berserk is back, baby. Now, this is the first volume to be published since the passing of creator Kentaro Miura, and luckily his students over at Studio Gaga have been working with him for years. They understand his vision, and they're able to continue the story. Now, before we get into the overhead shots, before I get into any spoilers, what I want to say about this volume is I kind of thought that the students were going to just pick up the story and kind of just drag it out a little bit. But in this volume, there are pivotal changes that happen for the better that makes the story more interesting. I thought they were going to cruise along with it, but now they're making big changes. Significant events happen in this book, and I read it in like 5 minutes, so I can't wait to go over it with you guys. Before we do, if you can, hit a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell if you want to be notified every time a video comes out, and let's jump into volume 42 of Berserk. Original story by Kentaro Miura, of course. Then Studio Gaga is his students who are continuing. This retails just 15 bucks. Now, most of you guys know where to pick up these volumes, whether it's the soft covers or the hardcover deluxe editions. But if you're overseas, if you're in the EU, check out comicsbugle.com. They have all of their books discounted. They have pre-order options, so you can pre-order the next deluxe edition when it gets announced. And they don't charge you until the book is ready to ship. It is free shipping, no taxes or import fees if you're within the EU. They use recyclable material for packaging, and you could save $5 off your first order by using code GEMMINT at checkout. So check out Comics Bugle if you're overseas. All right, now let's jump into volume 42. Of course, it starts with a double-page poster. Here we have kind of like the world tree, Berserk by Kentaro Miura with Studio Gaga. So you have Casca here, and of course, guys, spoilers for anything prior to this, including this volume. Love that whole world tree thing. Then you got on this side Guts being carried out by some village people. All right, so here we have the credit page. Griffith on the volume 42 cover page. Now, this was helpful as well because it's been a little while since I read that last deluxe edition. So where are we at with all the characters? Guts still has the Berserker armor. Casca has finally been brought to her old self again, although every time she sees Guts, she kind of glitches out a little bit due to the events of the eclipse. Puck is still in the mix. Shiriki is still here. She's getting stronger and stronger. She's actually taken on Farnese as her ward, and she's become the master for Farnese. Isidro is still chilling, trying to be the ultimate swordsman. He still does have, what is it, the fiery fetish, the dagger that Shiriki, did she give it to him? You have Isma there, so she's joined the party. She's one of those like Marrow, which is like a mermaid type of creature. Danan is the ruler of Elfheim's elves. She's the one that used magic to help bring Casca back to the real world, grab her spirit out of her whatever whatever she did. And then you have Griffith. So Griffith, he gets resurrected as Femto after or during the events of the eclipse, and then later uses the egg of the perfect world to be reborn as the absolute person, figure, being on Earth. So it's a godlike Griffith. He's back in his natural form. He's created his kingdom like he's always dreamed of, and he's basically performing miracles and doing shit that nobody has ever done. We do have the Moon Boy. So this is what was kind of confusing at the end of volume 41. Like the Moon Boy was kind of hinted that he was part of Griffith. So was he the result of what he did to Casca from the eclipse? That's kind of what they're making it seem like. So it's kind of like the embodiment of Griffith, or I don't know, maybe the remnants of his old self. Based on this, it kind of seems like there's still some more story to be told there, which again, one of the reasons why I'm glad they're continuing with the story. So we're in the Fantasia arc Elf Island chapter. Here's all the chapters. Stillness following the full moon, Eye of the Maelstrom, Petals in the thin air, the corridors, the fleeting crescent island, refugees on the western sea, a dying light in night's dark confines, the red raven sleeps in her cage, and the crippled rusty frame. Sounds very intriguing. Here we go, opening up. You got the fairies flying across the moon. Looks great. All the Marrows down here below. We're on Elf Island. There's all these fantastical creatures here, centaurs and minotaurs and such. Here's Casca. Again, she is no longer that like mindless walking toddler. She's back to her old self again, kind of. She knows what's going on, still hasn't really interacted with Guts, but she walks out to see Guts staring down Griffith. Her eyes widen up as she sees Griffith in his new absolute form. Now her wound, the brand of sacrifice, starts to throb on her chest. She's freaking out as she's seeing both of these figures. She has a hard time seeing either one of them. So here she goes. She's freaking out. The fairies are freaking out. And then Guts is pissed. Guts loves Casca. He's been protecting her this entire time. So he starts to gain the courage, grab the Dragon Slayer, and proceeds to take swings at Griffith. The only problem is that Griffith is like in this godlike state. So look, that's already just one chapter. These go super fast. So he swings at Griffith, and it goes right through him. Dragon Slayer hits the ground. He continues to take slashes at him. He's trying to figure out why he's not able to connect. Obviously, he's very angered by this as Griffith just hits him with the Prince look. Griffith, man, I don't know what's going to happen with him. He's basically a god. So he's laughing, and Guts is laughing, and he's swinging the sword over and over again, trying to strike Griffith. Then you have Shirky. She's able to see his ode, or kind of his spiritual nature. She sees that there's something different with Griffith, that he's some all-powerful being. Obviously, Guts is not able to take a whack at him. A lot of pages of him trying. Then we have that big paw swinging down at Guts. That's Griffith's enforcer, the one and only Nosferatu Zod. What's cool about this volume is I feel like we finally get to see him in human form again after so many chapters of him being monstered out like this with the severed horn. So the return of Zod. He's not here to fight with Guts. He's here to basically pick up Griffith and bring him back to his empire. They're starting to feel like tremors and trembling on Elf Island, on Elf Helm. Here goes the majestic Griffith. Guts again, still trying to harm him. And there is payoff, though. Look, he tries to slice him while he's holding Casca now. This is where I think we have this pivotal change in the story. We finally got Casca back to kind of her old self again. Griffith comes down. Guts tries to destroy him, unable to. So Griffith swoops up Casca, and he flies off with her with Zod. And then meanwhile, you have all this spiritual energy, sacrifice, taking over the island. And what we're about to witness is the destruction of Elf Island, which I thought was pivotal as well. They're writing this in the story to where this is no longer going to exist. You have the Skull Knight here, willing to help as well. We've kind of learned more about the Skull Knight over the chapters. It seems like he's had the Berserker armor prior. He was the king, and he had a similar loss, a similar eclipse as well. The island is being taken over by these spirits. Everybody on the island is kind of looking at him, trying to figure out what it is. And then it turns one of these guys inside out. Here it goes. Boom. So now everyone's like, oh, shit, we got to get the hell out of here. So they got to get off the island. Guts right now is like, he's out of it. He can't believe that after all this time, Griffith comes back, picks up Casca, and then Zod flies them away. So he is totally defeated right now. You can see the heartbreak in his face as he reaches out to Casca. She's kind of passed out from the sight of Griffith. And then you have the destruction of Elf Island, which is pretty pivotal. So two huge things happen pretty much right away here. The island's falling apart. Puck is trying to get Guts. Guts is trying, coming to the realization that not a single swing connected with Griffith. He's he's defeated. So here's everybody. They're on boats. They're trying to dump cargo to give themselves some speed to get away from these evil spirits. Here's a further away look at the island. And at this point, everybody's scattered. Nobody really knows where's Guts, where's the whole team. You have Danan trying to help them escape. Here we go on the ocean. Some beautiful art here too, like this somber scene. You can see the branches of the world tree in the sky, which Griffith has set up to use as kind of like a fast travel. So here we go on the ship. Serpico, who is Farnese's brother, she still doesn't know that they're related, though. She thinks that he's just her servant. So here's Farnese. She's ready to break down, and they have to remind her, like, yo, we need your help. We need healing powers. There's a lot of people that are hurt. You need to step it up and come through. And Farnese does. Here she decides to, push it all down and assist everybody that's hurt. Now, like I said, Guts still has the Berserker armor. They're a little bit concerned that he's going to lose it and go berserk on them while they're all on the ships trying to escape the island. Here goes Guts. It hasn't happened yet. He's still down there contemplating what just transpired. Flashback scenes. The Dragon Slayer falls to the ground. I guess he figures it's pretty useless at this point. There's nothing he can do to win against Griffith. All right, so here we're continuing. Guts having some flashbacks, memories of battle. Him touching the sword is causing all these flashbacks to happen. Flashbacks of Griffith. And just the torment of him losing Casca once again. He just collapses again. The island is crashing down around him. Everybody's dying and trying to escape. Shirke decides to go in with her astral form to try to pull him back, as she always does. You got Grunbeld, you got the other apostles that are part of Griffith's army, the new Band of the Hawk. Here's his medium announcing that Griffith is back. You can see the branches of the world tree in the sky. So Griffith's triumphant return to his magnificent kingdom with the army that's full of demons and humans alike. Here's Casca seeing stuff in a dream. She comes to, she's in the new palace. So it's kind of cool to see the palace again for the first time through Casca's eyes. People always ask me, what's my favorite arc? I really like it when Griffith wins. Like when Griffith builds his kingdom and he starts performing miracles like the world tree, which again, the branches let them essentially fast travel throughout the entire world. She's dressed up like a princess. I kind of thought she was going to denounce the princess clothing and want like her soldier attire. But here you have Casca. She's getting bathed and pampered, being taken care of over here in Griffith's kingdom. Once she comes to and realizes what's going on, she tries to make a break for it. She's strong. She's a formidable soldier. She attacks some soldiers until she finally can go face to face with Griffith. So here's Zod in human form once again in the castle. Another shot at the world tree and the other apostles. Back to the ship. Isidro's there just chilling. That's still my boy. Back here we can see the world tree and the destruction of Elf Island. Yeah, Guts is still out of it. The beast within ready to take over. And that's really what the crew's trying to prevent, because if the beast takes over, he can't really recognize friend or foe. So he's having a little bit of an internal crisis. Great artwork. Griffith stepping on his sword, kind of like what he did to Griffith when they were in the Band of the Hawk together. But that's not really happening right now. I believe that's just a vision. Yeah, he's still passed out here. So the ship gets attacked by what looks like the Kushan. So this is a new plot point that they're setting up that doesn't get resolved here. But of course, they're not on the ship safe and sound, right? Something has to happen to attack our crew. So that's actually where it ends. Guts is rescued. He's on the ship with the rest of the crew. The Kushan just attacked, and something is going to tell me that they're not going to be too happy that they did. But yeah, that's the entire volume 42. Here's an afterword by Koji Mori and a little cartoon here showing how they would script the stories with Kentaro, and it just really makes you feel good about whose hands this story is in. Who else better than the students that have been working with him for this entire time to continue this? And again, they didn't just pick up where they left off. They're moving the story forward, and I really like where they're going with this. Casca needs to get rescued again. How is Guts going to take her from Griffith? Let me know what you thought about Berserk 42 in the comments down below. Super excited for 43. Hopefully we get a 44 and so on, and continue with the deluxe editions. But appreciate you guys watching. Stay minty fresh. Peace.